Thank you for following along with these Fueling the Fire videos. I appreciate that you're here. I really appreciate those of you who are commenting and are being a part of the conversation. That's really what this is about. It's not just about me talking a lot. We want you to be involved. I want you to be involved, and I want us to think together about some things. This session, let's talk about where our focus is. Do you find yourself in the middle of this pandemic focusing more on what you can do or what you can't do? Do you think a lot about, I can't go to my favorite restaurant, it's closed, or they're not allowing indoor seating, and I can't go out without a mask, and we can't have church like normal, and we're not going to Sunday school, and Wednesday night's not the same. It's easy to think a lot about what we can't do. What if we shift our focus to what we can do? Because every time you see the word can't, the word can is in there. And every time we see some opposition or some difficulty, every challenge, there's also an opportunity. I love the attitude of people that you read about in the Bible, in this case the Apostle Paul. He is telling some folks sort of some final greetings at the end of his letter to the church in Corinth. And this is what he says in that chapter as he's going through those greetings and kind of reeling off a list of things he wants people to know. But I will stay on at Ephesus until Pentecost, because a great door for effective work has opened to me, and there are many who oppose me. A great door is open. This great opportunity is there, so I'm going to stay and take advantage of that. But in the same breath, there are many who oppose me. Isn't that the way it always is? Jesus taught, and some listened, and some tried to have him killed. Crowds followed him, and others followed him, hoping to bring an end to him. On one occasion, Jesus was in Samaria with the 12. It's not where they wanted to be. They weren't fans of the Samaritans, to say the least. A lot of bad blood. The disciples had gone into town to get food. Jesus stayed at the well. You probably know this story. When they came back, the text says they were surprised to find Jesus talking to this woman. She's a woman, for one thing. In their day, that was considered strange, and the two of them are alone. But she's a Samaritan woman. Notice how Jesus responded to them, knowing what they were thinking and knowing what they were about to say. Don't you have a saying, it's still 4 months until the harvest? I tell you, open your eyes and look at the fields. They are ripe for harvest. Even now, the one who reaps draws a wage and harvests a crop for eternal life. We're not just talking about farming here. This is eternal life stuff. And even now, Jesus says, and you go on down a little further in the text, this is in John 4, many of the Samaritans from that town believed in him. And so he stayed 2 days and talked to them some more. And then it says in verse 41, many more became believers. The 12 had no expectation that anything good was going to come from their time in Samaria, except that it was a shortcut to get where they were going. We have a tendency to think this is the worst of times for churches. And in some ways it is. Church has been stood on its head. Everything is different. There are all sorts of challenges in our culture about what we can and can't do, and people fighting about what we should and shouldn't do. And so it's a very tumultuous time. But in the middle of that, I am convinced there's great opportunity. The very fact that church as we know it has been stood on its head means several things. One is that we are reevaluating and rethinking, but so is everybody else. I think people all around us have been forced to slow down and forced to think about life and what's important and what's not and how to go about it. And everybody tends to have had more time for that, which is a good thing. Our challenge is to make the most of the opportunity and to see the opportunity. It may be, and in fact I am convinced that this is very likely the greatest opportunity that most of us will ever see in our lifetimes. The fields, I believe, are ripe to harvest. If you talk about fueling the fire, one of the best things we can do is to have success and to feel the excitement of the power of God in the gospel changing lives. As we've had to redo things and rethink things, we've been pushed toward doing things virtually. It's probably where we should be going anyway. I think it's probably the wave of the future. And so maybe instead of resisting or resenting this move to doing live streaming, etc.? What if we embraced it and realized there is opposition, but there's also this great open door of opportunity? Think about that some. Share some thoughts in the comments. Can you see ways that what we think is a horrible challenge might be turned into a great opportunity, might be our open door? And let's think some more in the next few days about how to do that. Love to see what you have to say. I look forward to your comments. Thanks again.